I will tell you, we are live. This is the market update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. If you need a roadmap in crypto, whether it's Pepe or Bitcoin, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And if the content works for you, hit the like button. All right, let's welcome who's here on the stream as the market is dumping Monday, May 8th. Bull Runner, Richard Barry, welcome. Yappy is here. Miguel, Flying Tiger, Kenneth Phillips, welcome from South Dakota. Huckleberry Native is here. Welcome. Okay. Hello from Oklahoma. All right. I'm just diving straight into it. What does Budlight and Pepe have in common? You can have huge volatility in memes and themes. Okay. So was Pepe worth $1 billion? Well, it's interesting that it actually went there. And is everybody going to stop drinking Bud Light because of this? Well, probably not. But you can have huge volatility. This is the key word. Huge volatility in memes and themes. Okay. AI needs super intelligent regulation. Well, it's kind of funny that everyone has forgotten the old Ronald Reagan axiom. Some of the most dangerous words in humanity are, "Hi, I'm from the government and I'm here to help." Are they regulating AI in China? Everyone is afraid of AI the way everybody was afraid of a flu-like sickness that went on for 2 years. Everybody took a experimental health supplement, and did they do that out of fear? And if so, did it work out? Don't hand your sovereignty over to a government. I know we're all afraid. If there was a walking, talking Joe Rogan, there could be a walking, talking Bill Noble. I get it. Fear is not an excuse to hand over your sovereignty to a government. Russia starts partial evacuation from southern Ukraine. UN Atomic Agency concerned about safety as locals in town hosting nuclear power plant staff are moved out. What? As a reminder, they have a big nuclear power plant in Ukraine. You can go to my Twitter. I'm only going to show you some of it. But when you have eclipses within 30 days of each other, there is a history of geopolitical events going all the way back to the War of 1812 and Napoleon invading Russia. Okay, I have a full and complete list. I'm not going to do it to you today. Right? One of the things you need to be careful of is the black swanish action in May. Like, think everybody maybe has figured out, maybe from listening to me or otherwise, that there's probably going to be a problem in October, like 2008. Some of the research I did over the weekend could indicate that the black swan could catch everybody sleeping now for sell in May and go away, which could be way more severe than I had originally thought. Russia's energy sector hit as Kremlin forced to increase taxes. Okay. Be careful when people become desperate, right? Be careful. Don't think that this guy Putin won't act in a way if his back is against the wall. It's never a good idea to turn someone desperate. Now, maybe this is over sensationalized, but if you watch what the market is doing and you don't know what's going on, that's the problem. You don't know what's going on. It could be a geopolitical event. Maybe we'll get to my Twitter later. Jenny Craig files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Chapter 7, excuse me. Gee, what does that mean? Well, Jenny Craig, like many places, I think they want to sell you prepackaged foods. Okay. It's also a sign that Americans have had a resort to much cheaper forms of food falling into the hands of big sugar, and everybody trying to lose weight may be giving up. Sad fact for Americans. Parents who are paying down student loan debt are worrying how they're sending their kids to college. Is this a good headline or a bad headline? Honestly, I think it's a good headline. Okay? Honestly, because artificial intelligence has got to drive the next round of education. This garbage where, professors can get lifetime employment at $800,000 a year because they wrote a couple of good papers seems insane. Driving college education costs parabolic because, like I said, you either go to college or you don't. So if you got to go to college, you got to pay what we're asking. Jan Hatzus, Goldman Sachs economist, we'll go through more of it later on AI. He says AI is going to add to productivity the way the invention of the personal computer and the invention of electricity did. So parents are worrying how they're going to deal with student debt. Well, I got a great idea. How about no student debt? How about you swipe your credit card, push a button, and get a diploma, right? Do the work and get a diploma from, artificial intelligence professors. Now, I don't want to see people out of work, but this BS where, you have to major in accounting or engineering to get a job defeats the purpose of college education to begin with. Powell's bet against a recession looks good, minus the credit crunch and the DC standoff. So in one way, this is like, oh, well, everything is fine. Nothing to see here, right? So recession, growth problems, black swans, they're coming. However, if artificial intelligence enhances productivity, two things can happen. One, these guys may have to continue to raise rates even though they don't want to, right? Because, productivity lowers inflation, but it also keeps growth going. So it's something to think about. The other thing that's a little easier to stomach or digest is that if AI helps productivity, that could power S&P, as in the stock market. So if you've got a hedge against failing banks, you may not have the option to indiscriminately sell S&P like you did in 2008. So if you can't hedge yourself, what are you going to do, right? Selling S&P may or may not work, right? They've forbidden you to sell bank stocks. So if the banks are going to fail, what are you going to sell? Well, I would say start with Schwab and real estate and possibly even junk bonds. Because the Fed, the longer they have to tighten, the longer this guy can hold on or the economy holds on, the worse the banking sector is going to be. Unless, of course, there's the black swan in May or a mini black swan in May. I was thinking October. I had to reevaluate. The bottom line is, Powell is not looking at a recession and may continue to tighten even though he shouldn't. Okay, bank stocks nearing a crisis era threshold. Gee, you can't have a bull market if bank stocks are falling. Don't you love legacy? Wait, what? The banks are failing? The bull market? Wait, we're not having a bull market? Jesus. Okay. This goes back to what I just talked to. If bank stocks are failing, what can you sell to protect yourself? What can you sell to protect yourself? Okay. JOMO NFT project aims to boost mental health in Web3. The joy of missing out. Okay. 40 artists to support mental health charities. It's really too bad. We'll get to Pepe later. That Pepe is the face of crypto, even though I totally support memes and themes being able to be priced as the market wants to. But crypto doesn't get enough credit for things like this. Bitcoin payment option is coming. Okay. Liechtenstein's prime minister, neighbor of Switzerland, by accepting Bitcoin for state services. It is a question of time before both governments and retailers adopt crypto. I can see this as a race come July, particularly if there's a mini swan, or I guess we can call it a gray swan, in May or June. Meme coin speedrun goes viral. Sparks scam concerned. Meme coin season may be primed for a new twist. Okay, so let's talk about meme coins. Crypto is the only market that I know that has the ability to F itself. Let's go over what that means. Coinbase sues the SEC and wants clarification on regulation, giving Gensler no answer. None. Then, out with the old and in with the new from the lunar eclipse leads to an in with the new that results in a meme coin mania. So can you imagine being Gensler, sitting at your desk, watching a meme coin be worth $1 billion, which is not the problem, but I'm sure the sub $100 million shills that are going on, the scams, the pump and dumps, and if you get sell in May and go away, people could be holding substantial bags of meme coins walking right into the arms of the regulator hammer. I mean, I can't think of a worse time to do a meme coin pump and dump. I actually hope Pepe holds the chart point that I've got. Okay. European regulators push to scrap smart contract laws that would kill DeFi. Well, guys, that's a great idea, because if our banks are insolvent, Deutsche Bank and Unicredit are also insolvent. Sam Altman's crypto project, Worldcoin, releases its first consumer product. Okay. So, WhatsApp, other people adopting crypto. Microsoft just pedal to the metal on Bing. I mean, what I have created with Bing, ChatGPT and Bing is unbelievable. I get to like the 12th or the 15th query, and the thing is just singing. I've been able to do stuff with GAN that I have not been able to do before. I did eclipse research. If you don't think eclipses matter, I can't help you, right? Bitcoin rallied into the solar eclipse in April. Meme coins rallied into the lunar eclipse. That was in with the new, and then out with the old is the bank failures. And then there's also a sell the fact thing going on in crypto, probably as I speak. China is developing AI without US chips. Folks, you got to get some books by Kai-Fu Lee. I've got the new one from 2021. The one from 2018 will scare the daylights out of you. It doesn't matter. Read it anyway. China's doing AI. It's funny. The communists are doing the free market, and the free market country is trying to regulate everything. They're doing this. They're doing it with our chips, without our chips. You can't stop them from doing it because it's been a part of their 50-year plan. I mean, according to Kai-Fu Lee, if I remember correctly, the Chinese have got like whole cities designed to be run by AI waiting to come online. Voyager plans to liquidate assets, wind down after sale dreams crushed. Ruh-roh. just as a reminder about both Voyager and Celsius, okay? The reason that the crypto market stopped going down in December, other than the fact that people were just ridiculously bearish, Voyager and Celsius wrapped Bitcoin, or all their digital assets that were major collateral, went into bankruptcy court. Everybody is afraid of Mt. Gox and the government selling. If something's keeping me up at night for May and June, it's if everybody starts walking away from, buying some of these companies and their assets have to get dumped into the open market. So if you're like, I can't even imagine what creates a dip in Bitcoin. I'm not being a smart guy. I can't either. Like, oh God, why would anybody sell Bitcoin? Well, it's because you're forced to sell Bitcoin. Binance resumes Bitcoin withdrawals. Oh my God. $1 in Bitcoin is better than $1 in the bank. I don't even have to say it. Every Binance user knows it, right? They're trying to get Bitcoin off the exchanges, period. And the SEC is coming after CZ, probably along with the Justice Department. This is going to be their big push to stop crypto in June. This even came out of ChatGPT, right, when I was doing some GAN research, right? They're coming. Regulators are going to try to have one last push to stop crypto. But you know what? It's not going to work. Crypto's probably going to go down, but that's okay. If you manage and you actively manage your portfolio, right? Like I had Moon Doom from last week. If you haven't watched that, go back and check it out, right? I've also got a video in there where Toby, who picked Pepe in mid-April, told you to exit last week. Not sure if that one is ready yet. You're going to have to actively manage your portfolio. Because, they're going to try to stop crypto, but they won't be able to. They will not be able to. My boss at Emerging Asset Group is reporting that gold and bullion and jewelry sales in New York's Diamond District on 47th Street, it's a melee, right? People are pressing the green button on gold and silver like you can't imagine, and that is coming to crypto, which is why the government is going to have to try and stop it. They're not going to go down to 47th Street and try to stop gold and silver, but they are going to try to stop crypto. And if crypto is dumping and you don't know why, there are a couple of reasons. One, they could be going after Binance. Pepe mooning is great, but it walks right into a Gensler trap. Right into a Gensler trap, particularly if Pepe dumps. Honestly, there's a more relevant level in Pepe. There's not a more relevant TA level than the 62% retracement of the whole moonshot in Pepe. If that holds, okay, it's fine. If that doesn't hold and the whole thing is a gigantic pump and dump, which again, with meme coins, it can be, that's walking right into Gensler's hands. And it is funny that I hear people online saying it's ungodly that there's all these sub $100 million shills out there. I have a sub $5 million coin in GLDN, which is involved with gold, water, and New York's Diamond District. So if people are looking for low cap plays, they're looking in the wrong place. I swear to God. Okay. Block demand leads to fee spike in Bitcoin as meme coins flourish. Crypto, crypto, the only market that can literally hurt itself. Meanwhile, a Chinese bank opens a letter of credit for Russian oil. The Chinese are coming to the rescue for the Russians. I think the Russians are in trouble. I really do. Right. Now, maybe they're not. Maybe that's just Western propaganda. But you got to be careful based on this eclipse research about geopolitical events. Could be the Russians, could be the Chinese, could be the Iranians, could be something I have no idea about. Okay, let's transition from the news to who's here. Okay, so Baby Whale is asking about Tezos. Okay. Lloyd is here. What was the title of the AI book? Okay, good question. So Kai-Fu Lee has a bunch of books out. Okay, here it comes. I'm sharing the screen now. Okay, I read this book in 2018. And I made a decision that I was going not only into crypto, but into as much content as I could do. I wanted to be in art. Now, if I remember correctly, he said art is going to be very important. Art and content. Entertainment is going to be important. Like, this book's probably less scary now because it started, but when I originally read it, it scared me to death. Okay. So we're looking at Jasmy. I'm actually looking at both Singularity DAO and AGIX. I actually met the team at Consensus, including the guy at the top. There is a decentralized AI play out there. I haven't purchased it yet, but it's definitely out there. You want to get a piece of the internet. You want to get a piece of AI via crypto. Okay. Nico is asking, how do I feel about real world assets crypto play? Well, I went to work for one a year ago, right? Everybody wants to have a gold token. We're working on one, meaning a digital asset backed by physical gold. We're creating a digital market for water. Okay. So there's a drought in the Midwest and in France, just some headlines I saw this morning, along with Arizona being almost permanently in trouble with water. And we're putting New York's Diamond District on the blockchain. It's called Block 47. Meaning you're going to be able to go buy diamonds, jewelry, and gold with ETH on chain, get an NFT, and you can pick it up or leave it there in the vault and have your NFT as an IOU or a flex. The volume in New York's Diamond District is unbelievable. The profits of the revenue from sales of water to Block 47 to our gold token go back to essentially consume or add liquidity or buy GLDN. Normally, I don't talk about it. Like I haven't talked about it in a while, right? Because GLDN has been taking it on the chin. Now I'm talking about it. It's like, wow. People are worried that there's too many sub $100 million shills out there. How about a sub $5 million idea, right? Sub $6 million market cap idea where, Block 47 is open. It's there. Coded by Mind Your Biz is our CTO. You want a meme coin with like real world asset utility? I don't think of GLDN as a meme coin, but if you're going to buy Gensler coin and you're not looking at GLDN, I own GLDN, I own Bark, the water token. These are the mysteries of the crypto universe. Saskatchewan is here. Welcome. Do we head for the chopper? Yeah, you do for May and June, dude. You do. I would have been like, you can hang on for a while. I wouldn't. Especially if you're doing like, S coins or stuff that, you're not really that interested in. I mean, if Bitcoin goes to 26 or 25K and runs some stops, I mean, what's going to happen to everything else? Okay. Philip giving me that sheepdog love. Welcome. Jasmy. Okay. We can look at Audio and Cardano if we have time. Okay. Okay, Jashim is saying, how do we cash if my banks close? Okay, the question is not clear, but let me see if I can answer it. Diversification has a new meaning. You cannot have all your money in one place. You cannot have all your money in one bank. You have to have dollars, euros, grocery store gift cards, Bitcoin on an exchange, Bitcoin in cold storage, right? Again, no relationship. Crypto.com, DCA in Bitcoin in June, right? As you DCA in Bitcoin, yeah, you might wind up losing 10%, as you DCA in, but the money won't be in the banking system. It'll be in crypto. And then with crypto.com, again, just an example, Coinbase has a card. So do all these other places. You can just hit the sell button and move crypto from the exchange to the card. In case, I know there's probably a bank involved in there somewhere, but at least it's not a regional bank failure. At least you're giving yourself a chance. Physical gold and silver if you have enough money, right? I think that's really only for, people with large amounts of money. But if you think banks are safe just because they've outlawed short selling at banks, in 2008, when they stopped the short selling rule, okay, that helped the market stabilize for like 2 or 3 weeks. And all it did was make the eventual implosion worse, because who is a natural buyer of any market? Short sellers, because they take their profits by buying. So if no one is short, there's no bid if people who are long go to sell. Seriously, Language Trader is here. How you doing? Welcome. King, hi. Channel. Thomas. Mark Liano, welcome. Aiken is here. Digital Bobby. Rave Song Records. Shizzy. Crypto Clan. Balaj, welcome from Montreal. Oklahoma. Joplin. Kenya. Welcome. Flying Tiger. Miguel. Welcome to the show. All right, I know that you probably can't control yourself. You've got to see not just the Pepe chart, but other charts. So let's get to the PowerPoint market update. Today is May 8th. Here we go. Oh, crypto. Can a crypto project succeed with zero utility and justify its value solely based on the strength of the community? 55% say yes. Well, that's a good number for me because I own GLDN and a water pricing mechanism, right? Because my coin has utility, coins. Okay. Now, are 55% of the people bullish meme coins and 20% of the people are bearish? I know it's not asking about meme coins, but this feels like FOMO. Remember the thing from Thursday where the people were riding the roller coaster and screaming and go, wow, this is fun. Okay. What do I say? When you're wearing a lampshade on your head, drinking out of a bottle of champagne because you've made an unbelievable amount of money, hopefully you've sold your position before you do that. This feels like bullish sentiment is a tad too high. Now, the gray swan. In 1929, you had a hybrid solar eclipse followed by a lunar eclipse in October. Stock market crashed. You had a hybrid solar eclipse in April and a lunar eclipse in May. You had a similar thing happen in August of 87. Okay, it was lunar followed by solar. The top of the market was Labor Day, and it just fell apart after that. Okay, 2 eclipses in a short time period, along with, combined with like other items that I found. So basically what I did with ChatGPT was I took a picture of the sky as it is right now. I said, handed it to ChatGPT. I said, show me what happens when the sky looks like this and you've had 2 eclipses in 30 days. 1929, 1987, 2008, and 2000 came out. Okay. 2008 was lunar, followed by solar, which was like 2 days before Lehman gave out. Like, it's just freaky. Like, you don't have to believe this, but you better take it seriously when I've been saying for a while that, you got to get out in May and June could be ugly, right? July is the re-entry point and September maybe even better. Okay. In January of 2020, okay, it was the lunar eclipse along with similarities in the horizon that triggered COVID. Now, CNBC reports that Goldman economist says that AI has been more impactful than what he thought, and productivity could go up by 1.5 points. Productivity is something that economists track. Okay, it's an economic statistic: growth, inflation, productivity. Increases in productivity are good for the economy. Sometimes they keep inflation lower. That's good. Sometimes they create wild economic growth, like the personal computer did. Back in 1998, in Texas, they called them Dellionaires when Michael Dell left college and started building PCs. I think the most relevant point here is don't doubt that the stock market adopts an idea that equities could go up because AI is going to create cost savings, which is going to kill short sellers because they're going to want to sell S&P and it may not work, which means they're going to have to sell something else. What's the something else? Well, it could be Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin is good, but if legacy investors are like, well, damn, I'm hosed, let's sell the fastest moving thing we can find, they're going to sell Bitcoin and ETH. As crazy as that sounds. If not, they're going to pick on banks and they're going to pick on brokerage companies and real estate companies because they cannot get short banks. In legacy, buying puts in banks stocks is the equivalent to the meme coin craze on the way up because of the amount of gratification you get when the banks fail. Just as a reminder, long-term interest rates in the United States want to go up. It's a triangle formation. Long bond yields, which determine the 30-year mortgage rate, are above the 21-week moving average. The United States is going to lose credibility. I don't know if it's now or later. If it's now and you have a rise in interest rates, like think about this, like stocks should go down, but they don't. Interest rates should fall, but they don't. So stocks don't go down, interest rates go up. That's just about as toxic as you can get for both crypto and certain other assets. One of them being Schwab. Schwab has a bank, but Schwab is not a bank as a whole. It's not First Republic. But historically, I used to work there. Schwab doesn't pay you anything on your money and basically forces you into either CDs or money market funds, betting that most of the time people just leave their cash balance alone, which Schwab then takes and reinvests and effectively runs the firm as an interest rate hedge fund. Like when you look at Schwab, I mean, they win J.D. Power Best Award for Service every single year. It is unbelievable. You walk into Schwab, you are talking to like in a branch, you're talking to somebody that had to work through like 4 levels of sales training to get to where he's at. He had to know the markets. He had to know how to sell and bring in assets. And everything this guy wants to offer you is at a fee that, no investment bank can beat. Why? Well, because Schwab's an interest rate hedge fund, because they make their money doing other things, allowing, consumer services to be offered at cut rate prices, which is why as soon as this, interest rate risk management debacle came to light, Schwab went from 80 to 50. I mean, that's why. Like, I'm not making this up. So what's Schwab doing now? Well, 50 was a takeoff point for the QE rally in 2021. Now Schwab's below 50. S&P was up this morning and Schwab just could not uptick. And if Schwab's below 47, I can draw 20. Now, they can't short banks, so they're going to short something. right? Because someone's caught out there. I mean, you don't just, bank stocks don't exist nebulously floating through the universe, even though I'm a planets guy, right? Someone owns bank stocks. Someone is exposed. Someone, has lent money to banks. And it's like, oh my God, we need to protect ourselves. Well, we can't short the bank stocks. How are we going to protect ourselves? Well, they're going to find something else to sell. In 2008, it wound up being S&P, much to everyone's shock. This time around, I don't know what it's going to be. Schwab, real estate. In May and June, it could be Bitcoin. Even though that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But that's the problem with these type of environments. When everybody knows something bad is going to happen, something unexpected happens. In the words of Bob Farrell, the first professional technical analyst on Wall Street, when everyone expects the same thing, something else happens. So if everybody thinks S&P is going to go down, if S&P doesn't go down, well, then they got to go pick on Schwab, real estate, Bitcoin. They got to pick on whatever they can get their hands on. Okay, here's IYR, a real estate REIT ETF. A lot of people don't know this, but everything from IYR to Deutsche Bank to Schwab is sitting on some version of a 21 period moving average. Okay, 21 period moving average. So IYR, okay, yeah, it's down, but the resistance is at the 21 week moving average at 85.88. Every time you get these spikes through, the next return move to the average results in a failure of varying degrees. So spike up, retest, down, right? Spike up, retest, down. They can't short the banks, so they may have to short the real estate that the banks own. Now let's talk about Bitcoin. This was drawn before the dump. I don't know where it is as I'm talking, but 28,000 is a key level. If 28,000 doesn't, if Bitcoin can't get above 28,000, the downside target is 26. And oh, wouldn't that be great? Right? I mean, please feel free to all go get short this, right? Like, dumb money, AKA people panicking in legacy, are actually going to short Bitcoin. Fantastic. Hopefully they all get short in a hole as a hedge, reminding us of the famous Wall Street phrase, hedges are something that little doggies pee on. These guys are going to get short Bitcoin in the hole only to see it come screaming out in July. But we're not in July. It's May 8th. So they may get after this. I know it's crazy, but that may happen. Now, full moon. There have been full moon pukes. It's kind of the latest fashion in Bitcoin. As much as I'm into like planets and eclipses, I'm not into automatically selling on the new moon and buying on the full. Okay, that's kind of something that people were very much into. It kind of works. The only thing I've noticed is with the full moon, if the market's going to go up, they puke it hard first. They puke it hard, either right after. It's either a big puke or a small puke. Just a little trivia. Okay, silver, precious metals, right? Precious metals wiped out some gains on Friday, right? All the way up, all the way back down. Everyone's like, well, I can't buy silver because I just got wiped out. Now, what do markets do in these situations? Well, everybody knows precious metals should go up. So what does the market do? Well, it goes up and then it'll go down and wipe out everybody who bought in the last 3 days, chasing them out of the trade, only to have it probably go back up again. Why? Well, because we're in the impulsive part of an emotional up move. We're in the third part of a fifth wave. Now, I could talk all this Elliott wave jargon. Technical analysts like to talk about these things. Astrologers like to tell you that, there was a lunar eclipse in Taurus at 0 degrees. Okay. And then they talk over your head to get you to buy a newsletter. Well, at the market update, we don't do that, right? We don't talk to jargon. We just tell you what it means. Basically, silver is in an impulsive part of an emotional up move. And if you have a situation in May and June where mysteriously people are puking Bitcoin, so that could be Celsius selling, okay, forced liquidation, you know, dumbass hedging, whatever, right? You got to be careful that gold doesn't catch people sleeping. The market is definitely tired. Like, stopping short selling in bank stocks, probably not the worst thing in the world, because the market, those traders are exhausted. They're probably happy about it. However, in precious metals, you know, it's like, oh, well, you know, this has been kind of boring and I don't think I have to pay attention. And then don't doubt it. Okay. Pepe, what you've all been waiting for. 1842. I'm just reading the last four numbers. That's the 62% retracement. So on any of these giga up moves, you want to see 62% holding. You just do. I mean, if 62% holds, even if they run stops, it's okay. Okay. If Pepe falls apart or there's a massive retracement of this move, you've walked into the hands of Gensler. I mean, a lot of people think I'm out of my mind. I'm working on expanding my GAN and planetary analysis stuff. Some of that involves tarot cards. I know you think I'm out of my mind. I'm actually not. I'm connecting it to something called deacons, which is something the Egyptians used to tell time. Keyword there is time, right? GAN is about time. So if I can identify some event like an eclipse or a shift in a planet, and I can nail it down to a date, I've got a way to identify what could happen on that date using a little book that I can just read out of in an attempt to get you a bigger and better read. In the meantime, again, the person who found Pepe in mid-August and mid-April had a sell recommendation recorded 3 days ago. If Pepe crashes, you've walked right into the hands of Gensler. Or, to put it bluntly, if Pepe crashes, the market crashes. God, that pains me to say it. No problem with memes being valued at $1 billion. I went to a meme presentation at Consensus, and they basically told me what my producer has been telling me for a long time, is that memes can be worth a lot of money. To the point where I'm talking about, I wish we could have like a Notorious Bill meme coin, especially if there's a nuke in this market in May and October. Can you believe they're selling XRP? Like, seriously, it's amazing. Like, payment plumbing is going to be very important. XRP is headed for support at 41. And I'm looking at this and I'm not sure if that holds. You know, people are abandoning projects that they've believed in to chase meme coins. I'm like, wow, really? You know, so I don't know how much pressure they're going to put on XRP. You also have to be careful that this recent dump is not Gensler risk. I mean, the SEC is going to lose in court, but that doesn't mean they're not going to throw one last punch. Now, I was kind of like, all right, that's a theory, a hypothesis. And then I see this XRP dump. I'm like, oh my God. And that is the market update. All right. All right. Fire Sales is here. Crypto Clan is asking about AVAX. King is in the house. So let's take a look at Jasmy. We're definitely doing DeMark today. Okay, so I'm going to do 4-hour bar and daily charts today. Whoops, share screen. Good catch. All right, so Jasmy on a daily chart, there's your 13 top. Moving average support is basically where it is right now. 3 p.m. Eastern time. Do not go and get long something that looks like it's topped. Let them hit it and then come in. Okay, I'm looking at AGIX. Okay. So I saw a 13 bottom. I saw a 9 bottom. I really wanted to buy it, and look what they did to it. They just killed it. Right. People are giving up on these trades. I don't know if it's the meme coin, issue, like AGIX. I mean, these guys have, they're going to have a stable coin, right, that operates with AI that may wind up being better than the original Frax design. They've got Singularity DAO, which may wind up a competitor or in some way to some of products where I used to work. So they're doing like AI and things with finance, and they're going to give people a piece of AI rather than having it owned by Silicon Valley, and they're just indiscriminately selling it. I mean, if this is going down, what's going up? Now, this is a very interesting support point in AGIX. I can't lie. I'm intrigued. Okay. Somebody said they staked a lot of cake. My God. Well, folks, cake is connected to Binance, and it looks like everybody is in a mood to attack these big DeMark supports, which in cake is at 166. Okay, XRP has won. It hasn't been made public. Okay. Garrett Soloway is a really smart guy. I don't understand why everybody's selling XRP. Okay. Algorand. A lot of people like this. Algorand, like taking out its December low like it's not there. Just checking where the market is right now. Bitcoin's down 3%. ETH's down 3%. Avalanche down 6.9%. Are you kidding me? Okay. So this is your 4-hour Avalanche chart. Okay. Hidden pivot analysis. Okay. So, I mean, if Avalanche can't get back above 1567, okay. $13 is the target. You know, this is why I put out Moon Doom. You know, it's buy the eclipse, buy it before the eclipse, sell it after. Okay, here's just like the 4-hour chart of Pepe from Gate.io. Sure, it's better to draw the fib numbers on Dex tools. You know, Gate.io 62% retracement is right here. Okay, so let me just label this. This is Pepe 4 hours from Gate. Maybe the title of the stream should have been Pray for Pepe. The actual title I settled for was Sell in May or Pepe Away. Right? If Pepe holds, awesome. If Pepe doesn't hold, you're going to get a knuckle sandwich from Gensler. A knuckle sandwich from Gensler. Okay? Kush asking about NEAR. Okay, so as you can see on a daily chart, right, it looks like the downtrend is just starting, right? 1, 2, 3, and it goes all the way to 9. So not that I don't like NEAR. I'm guessing on a 4-hour chart, okay, this looks like it's almost over. I guess that's good in the short term, right? But you got this problem, right? You've got this ceiling and floor issue. So, I mean, NEAR breaks a bottom from March, right? It should stop, but it's got to get above $1.68, right? It's got to get above $1.68. Audio. Okay, so support in audio is at 21 cents. If you look at these 4-hour charts, you know, yes, these things are attacking support. This is a 9 bottom in audio. You know, if anything should hold from what I've seen this morning, maybe it's audio. You know, there's always a bull market somewhere. You just got to be really careful with altcoins in May, right? I know a lot of people like altcoin TA. I have no problem giving it to you, right? Now, I got 2 more minutes. Here's what I'm going to tell you about. I'm just going to use Fantom as an example, right? This is the opposite of the bull market. This is a 90-minute chart of Fantom. So you get a 13 bottom, you get a 9 bottom. It doesn't act as a bottom. It keeps going. It goes down, but then it comes back. It's over, right? Think again, right? Don't get fooled. Don't get fooled by intraday rallies in this type of a period. If the market is offering liquidity for you to manage your position, do so. Do so. Active portfolio management will be important. If you don't believe that and you want the market to be your teacher, that is the risk. So there's listening to me, a fallible human who could be wrong, or there's putting yourself at the mercy of the market. I kind of hope the market doesn't fall apart, but I'm not expecting anything really good to happen like this week or near the end of May. Because again, Gans said within 15 days of an eclipse, you can expect some type of reaction. We are definitely inside that window, So if you want to know why the market is down, other than more sellers than buyers, that's why. There's a seller out there, and we don't know who it is. So that's the market update for today. We will see you Thursday.